pawn, disposable, dispensable. Move only forward unless to kill, otherwise capable of nothing but getting in the way, or sacrifice at will. The bishop, peripheral slaughter, holy water, 10% of your paycheck, keeping you in check. Casual technique, casualty oblique, ordained wolf in sheep's dressing. You won't win without me, or my diagonal blessing. The rook, that crook, forsook the king, should have stayed put for castling. The king's personal bodyguard, to the front line, to kill in straight lines, pompous in his ability, mobility in plus or minus signs. It's his lack of agility that becomes his own demise. The four horsemen, in shining armor, knighted by the king himself, taking advantage of being taken for granted, L-shaped violence, slaughter in silence. I've slain emperors of the past, they dance to my groove. Even the queen can't mimic my moves. You never saw me coming. The pawn, valiant, vulnerable, a pawn am I. Even a pawn is capable of regicide. Strength in numbers, but our hands are tied. I give up. It's harder to lead than it is to obey. Capable of anything, but getting out of our own way. How does it feel to know that you're being played, to be subject to control by modern-day kings and queens, involuntarily pulling strings, ruling them all without the one ring? Guinea pigs, pharmaceutical rejects, unregulated, unchecked. Food now comes with side effects, antibiotics, and insects. Now everyone anxious, now everyone depressed. Chemically compulsive electronic pulses from glorious glowing objects. Always connected, always disconnected. This chessboard is rigged, kings and queens selected, not elected, from on high, protected, intruders detected, use lethal force if ordered. It's not murder if we're protecting the border. We can't take back what was never ours. Stalemate, stalemate, circles for hours. Same fate, pushing up flowers. No one wins. What does it mean to be human? We eat, we sleep, we fight with one another, promise ourselves to one, then fuck all the others. Primal beings we are when we're stripped to our core. We're animals after all, but believe we're something more. Are we? Bones, skin, and blood, with hierarchies and ranks. Kings and queens and in-betweens, answering to banks. To the front lines, we place our pawns, driving tanks, dropping bombs, appointing bishops to establish morality when it was already there before. Portray a picture, label it reality when it looks a lot more like fantasy lore. Rooks become castles, castles become towers, towers become weaponized for radiant power. Sure, the animals aren't the ones destroying this place, but there's a reason they call it a rat race. If they could, they would, but that isn't the case. The final generation, buried in our debris, seasoned for obedience, programmed complacency. They never had a chance. Do we tell them in advance? They'll find out on Google anyway. Premature as their days were, never knew green acres, never knew nature, except their own. Their carnal desires, their thirst for blood, their hunger for bones, and the notifications on their phones. When nature is technology, fulfilled will be the chess game prophecy. Regardless of your philosophy, it's all the same fate. Bring out your dead, tally up the heads. This is how it ends. Checkmate.
Hello and welcome to the Springfield Police Department Rescue Phone. If you know the name of the felony being committed, press 1. To choose from a list of felonies, press 2. If you are being murdered or are calling from a rotary phone, please stay on the line. You have selected Regicide. If you know the name of the king or queen being murdered, press 1.